hope you are having a good day. I've got some good stuff for you today. But first, let's have a look at some electrical scarring. From the time of the thunderbolts of the gods. And I trust you all watched the Thunderbolts Project latest video talking about polygonal and hexagonal craters. And also about the hexagon on Saturn, extending hundreds of kilometers above the cloudy surface of Saturn, baffling scientists. It's a phenomenon of a Birkeland current because everything's connected. And this war in heaven that I talk about was brutal. It was civilization ending and a reset. Our early solar system formed along a column of plasma exhibiting the Z-pinch effect, which is the tendency of the column to pinch inwards at intervals. And at the pinch, this is where gas and matter are collected into planets and dwarf stars and moons. Spinning in an electric magnetic vortex. This is what gave us our early perspective when the Eye of Ra was in the sky in a Birkeland current, which is scalable all the way down to your DNA. And in our recent history, our own Birkeland current met its demise, culminating in this war in heaven. And there is an archetype of the cosmic mountain and the mountain of God. And this form is remembered, and it is everywhere. This is the collapsing polar configuration. The winged disk, Saturn's magnetic field highly charged up and visible above the cosmic mountain, the mountain of God. The original light bearer before he was cast out of heaven. In some regions, the Eye of Ra. In others, it was the Eye of Bel and the Eye of Odin. This is the polar configuration. And this is a depiction of the cosmic mountain. The cataclysm. Now, the so-called Egyptian Book of the Dead, it's all about the polar configuration and the collapse. It relentlessly talks of the plumes of the gods, and that is what I've been showing you. Now, when you're reading these texts and you see the letter N by itself, that represents the spot where you are to insert the name of whoever is purchasing this spell to have it written on their coffin. Now, I notice that it talks about the Great One falling on its side and quaking. And there is much hope that this Great One would stand up from upon his side. Now, the gods are the planets, and there is one who is on his side. Perhaps they saw this Great One fall on his side before it receded into darkness. And these spells talk of the centipede faced coming down. Your arms are Atum, your legs are the centipede god. And thanks to the Thunderbolts Project, we know about this centipede god, and we call it a Parat instability. The Bible called it Jacob's ladder. But it was the centipede god to the Egyptians. And in other spells, it talks of the centipede god that destroyed the sky on the day of the slaughter This is the Cataclysm. This was the original light bearer before being cast out of heaven, Saturn. And it was worshipped by 1,000 names. The Eye of Ra, the Eye of Bel, the Eye of Odin. Also, in one region, it was called El, or Bel, and Baal. And Baal wears the cosmic mountain on his head. And it almost looks like they are holding the same cosmic mountain. And there are many connections. Perhaps that is why that city is called Belfast, and that country is called Belgium. The Italian word for beautiful is bellissimo. And they would go out onto their balcony and look at the beautiful electricity. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good night.